My close friend's fiancé blew up at me one afternoon, and the way she yelled left me completely stunned. I had never imagined our friendship circle could erupt into chaos over a misunderstanding, yet there she was, eyes blazing with suspicion and anger, pointing a finger at me as if I was some villain plotting behind her back. "You think I'm trying to steal my fiancé?" she shouted, her voice trembling with a mix of rage and hurt. I froze for a moment, my mind racing to comprehend the accusation. I had spent years being friendly, supportive, and caring toward both my friend and his fiancé, never crossing any line, never intending harm. Yet, in an instant, she had turned my kindness into betrayal in her eyes. I felt my chest tighten, my heart thumping painfully against my ribcage, but I forced myself to stay calm. Reacting in anger would only make things worse, and I refused to let a misunderstanding dictate my actions or ruin relationships I valued. I took a deep breath and said quietly, "I care about your fiancé because he's my friend. That's it. There's nothing more. I would never, ever interfere in your relationship." Her glare softened for a split second, but doubt quickly returned, etched into every line of her face. "I don't believe you," she whispered, almost to herself, though her tone was sharp enough for me to hear. I realized that explaining myself once wasn't enough. Trust, especially when fragile, is built slowly, with consistent actions rather than words alone. Over the next several days, I made a conscious effort to stay respectful, polite, and unobtrusive around her, showing through my actions that I posed no threat. I remained friendly with my close friend, yet always ensured my interactions were appropriate, never giving her a reason to doubt my intentions. She noticed the difference gradually. The tension she had created by assuming the worst began to soften, and I could sense her observing me more cautiously, measuring whether my behavior matched my words. One evening, a week after the incident, we all gathered for a casual dinner, and the air was thick with unspoken tension. She arrived first, sitting stiffly, her eyes darting toward me occasionally, betraying curiosity she was trying to hide behind composure. I remained calm, greeting her with a polite smile and allowing her the space to approach me on her own terms. After a while, she finally broke the silence, speaking quietly but clearly. "I guess I overreacted. I held up a hand, interrupting gently. "I understand. Misunderstandings happen. What matters is honesty. I've always been honest with you." Relief slowly spread across her face, and a tentative smile appeared. That moment marked the beginning of reconciliation, though the journey was far from over. We spent hours talking that night, addressing her fears, her insecurities, and the assumptions that had fueled her anger. I listened carefully, never interrupting, validating her feelings without admitting to any wrongdoing I hadn't committed. She began to realize that her accusations were rooted in fear rather than reality, and I reassured her that it was okay to feel vulnerable as long as we communicated openly. Over the following weeks, she gradually let go of the hostility, and our interactions became more relaxed and respectful. She treated me with genuine politeness, no longer seeing me as a threat, and our friendship circle began to feel whole again. I noticed how this experience also strengthened my bond with my close friend. He saw firsthand that I had handled the situation calmly and respectfully, refusing to escalate, and he appreciated my efforts to protect both his relationship and our friendship. Looking back, I realized that what had initially seemed like a painful, unjust confrontation had become a profound lesson in patience, empathy, and integrity. Misunderstandings are natural in human relationships, but the way we respond to them determines whether they destroy connections or deepen them. Months later, she approached me privately, apologizing sincerely for the outburst, acknowledging that she had jumped to conclusions, and admitting that her insecurities had gotten the better of her. I accepted her apology graciously, recognizing not only her growth but also my own ability to remain composed, patient, and true to my values. That night, as I reflected on everything, I understood that handling the confrontation with calm, honesty, and respect had been far more powerful than any argument or defensive response could have been. The tension, anger, and fear of those initial moments had been transformed into understanding, trust, and a strengthened bond within our circle of friends. Now, whenever I think about that day, I don't feel anger or hurt. I feel gratitude for the lesson it brought, that integrity, patience, and empathy can diffuse even the most volatile situations, and that trust, once questioned, can be rebuilt through consistent actions, open communication, and a willingness to listen. The experience taught me that relationships, whether friendships or romantic partnerships, require effort, clarity, and the courage to handle conflicts without resorting to hostility. By staying true to myself and my principles, I not only preserved my dignity but also helped others see the truth, ultimately strengthening the bonds that mattered most. In the end, what had started as an explosive accusation became a turning point, transforming misunderstanding into growth, fear into reassurance, and tension into a deeper sense of connection that none of us had anticipated but all of us needed.